So I like that this one's multiple choice. And I feel like I'm going to start here. I'm going to find the vertex. So the vertex is -2, -1. Okay. So I'm going to use that to get my answers. I know when it's the x, it's not a straight shooter, so I'm looking for +2. +2, +2, -2. +2, +2, +2. Okay. And the -1 is a straight shooter, -1, +1, -1, +1. Okay. So it's either this one or this one. I could eeny, meeny, miny, mo. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick another point. So I'm going to pick where it crisscrosses, and it looks like it crisscrosses right there at 2, 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 and 1 here, 2 and 1 here, and I'm going to plug it in and see which one equals. 2 + 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2 minus 1 is 1. So that could work. 2 + 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2 times 2 is 4 minus 1 is 3. Uh-oh, but that's a 1. So that is not the right answer, and that is the equation. Okay. All right, so looks like these are pretty similar, and I'm going to solve them both, but I need to check for extraneous solutions, which means check solutions that may not work. So add 9, add 9. Oh, subtract 9, subtract 9. They're starting off very similar. The way to get rid of a squared or a square root is to square it. Square, square, square. I'm just doing the problems at the same time. I feel like it'd be easier. 3r minus 6 equals 36. 3r minus 6 equals 144. Add 6 to both sides. Same game over here. 3r equals 42. 3r equals 150. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. r equals 50. r equals 14. So now what I need to do is check it by plugging it in. So I'm going to check 3 times 14 is 42. 42 minus 6, is 36. The square root of 36 is 6, and 6 minus 9 is -3. That one works. 3 times 50 is 150. 150 minus 6 is 144. The square root of 144 is 12, but 12 plus 9 is not -3. That's one's extraneous. Okay? All right. Looking at this one, I'm going to divide by -5. When I divide by -5, it's the same thing. Looks like I cut and pasted this from my homework, as multiplying by the reciprocal. So that's gone. 2 negatives make a positive. So I'm left with 1 over 27. I'm not even going to worry about the left side right now, because this is still a little bit ugly. So this is the same as 1 over 3 cubed. And I don't like that, so it's the same as 3 to the -3. So let me move down now. 3 to the -3 equals x to the -3 halves. Now what I want to do is solve for x. I multiply by the reciprocal. -2/3, -2/3. That's all gone. X equals negative and a negative make a positive. 3 over 3 is gone. 3 squared, x equals 9. Okay, let's do the next one. First thing I'm going to do, square, square. But don't forget to square it to the 5. So 4x equals 25 times x minus 6. Distribute, distribute. Oh my gosh, I just blinked. 150. Subtract 25x. -21x equals -150 by -21. X equals 150 over 21. Okay. And that works. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Square both sides. Square, square. That's gone. This one I box out. X minus 4, x minus 4. I don't want to box it. You guys can box that. X squared minus 8x plus 16. Set it equal to 0 minus x plus 2. X squared or minus 9x plus 18. X minus 6. X minus 3. X equals 6. X equals 3. Check for extraneous solutions. Okay, so 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 equals 2. That one works. 3 minus 2 is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 1 does not equal negative 1. That one's out. This one's similar. I'm going to add 5 like I'm solving for x. 243 equals 3 times. Don't even look at that exponent yet. I got to get rid of all the stuff that's on the outside. 81 equals x minus 14 to the 3 halves. This is when I multiply by the reciprocal. Ugh, that's ugly. So I feel like this is when you like to simplify the left. So I need the third power. I don't want to do 9 squared. Because if I did 9 squared, then it doesn't make my life any easier. So I don't like 9 squared. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is a mistake. Let's make this. Oh, no. Okay, this was supposed to be 3. Oh. Let's pretend. Okay, pretend that's 3 halves. No. Whatever, I didn't like it. It was supposed to be. It didn't work out. I'm sorry, it's a mistake. So let's make that 9 squared. Okay, so that would work. And then 9 cubed equals x minus 14 plus 14 plus 14. So 9 cubed, it's reasonable. 729 plus 14, 743. So let me back up and say, because that was intimidating. I made up a problem that didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. So we're pretending that's going to be 3 over 2, okay? We're pretending because that one got messed up when it got made up, okay? So sorry about that. All right, let's go to the next one. Take it to the 5th power. I get 2x plus 8 equals 4 to the 5th. So do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20. Subtract 8. Divide by 2. And you're good. Okay? You want to make sure you have time to check it. Check it later. Make sure you're good to go. Now be careful. What if I got 509? Let's say I got 509. And then I go and I check my test and I go, okay, I plug it in, it doesn't work. It doesn't necessarily mean it's no solution. It could mean that you divided wrong. So you just want to be careful about checking answers. It means you're right, 509 is not a solution. Okay? But it doesn't mean there's no solution. It could mean that you made a mistake. All right. So they want you to tell you everything having to do with this. Okay. So the domain of this one, I didn't really leave space, is x is greater than or equal to, everything's based on the vertex, -6. Move this over. -6, positive infinity. And then this is the straight shooter. So the range is y is greater than or equal to -4. Bracket, -4, positive infinity. The vertex is -6, -4. End behavior, okay. Oh, end behavior. So if I sadly graph this, this would be -6, -4 right here. So what they want for this one is just to say that as it's going to the right, it's going up. So that has a positive infinity behavior. Where if you had something like this, that would be a negative infinity behavior, okay? Equivalence, oh, interesting. That's 3. This is writing in exponential form, 1/2 minus 4. So that's just the same thing. Make sure you have g of x, okay? And transformations, horizontal translation, 6 units left. Vertical translation, 4 units down. Vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Okay. All right, describe the transformation. So this is this 8, vertical translation, 8 units up. Now this is where it gets confusing. This is negative parentheses x plus 3. So this negative is a reflection over the y-axis. And then this is a horizontal translation, 3 units left. Okay. All right, create a function with the following parameters. A 4th root function, Reflecting over the x really means it's with the y. Horizontally shifting to right really means left. Vertically compressing by a factor of 2/5. I'll make it look nicer in a second. Vertically, let's see, 2/5, and vertically 6 units up. Okay, so what I'm looking for is f of x equals, oops, I can't believe I did it again, negative 2/5 fourth root x minus 2 plus 6. And that's your test.